The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com. Aging starts at the cellular level. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries. During that period, key patented compounds have focused on mitochondrial growth, nerve growth, and rejuvenation. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. We now have the synergistic solution, DNA Force, just one of the key compounds. BioPQQ is backed by major clinical studies and over 175 PubMed-listed published studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Just let me think.
I suspect even now, orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor Sutler.
Damn it! Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of the truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others. They will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar. There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar. Watching and listening to that intro as we came in, we're simulcasting television if you're a new listener at Infowars.com in the listen, watch page with free video feeds. Watching that intro while I sit here in the studio on this Thursday edition, the 31st day of July 2014. It's so epic. There really is a war. It really is happening now. It will decide humanity's fate. We are the resistance. That means you. We are the InfoWar. Let that sink in. There's no secret room of patriots out there, folks, that are running around trying to restore the republic. Look in the mirror. We're it. And if you want stability and you don't like the West starting a war with Russia, you're a KGB agent. If you don't want your borders wide open and the country collapsing, and 8 out of 10 new births in the country being to illegal aliens, that's in the news today, you're a racist. If you don't like the wealth transfer of having to pay for all this while veterans can't even get health care that work in my office from the VA, you're a racist. If you don't like rotten chicken out of China, you're a racist. If you don't do whatever you're told, you are politically incorrect. You are a thought criminal. I mean, that is such authoritarianism. And it's so transparent. And in truth, it doesn't even work on the general public. It works on some of the young trendies out there that were brought up in front of television and don't even know how to take care of themselves. And it works on some of the dumbed-down people that have been on welfare for 3-4 generations and have no idea what planet they're on and sit around eating MSG and aspartame all day. But most people that are actually smart are so self-centered and have decided there's no way to fix it, they're just off running their businesses, running their lives, hoping somebody else fixes it. The most common thing I hear from families in airports or walking down the street or at the grocery store or at the mall buying my kids' shoes is, thank God you're here. Thank God you're out there. I'm glad you're working for us. And it'll be special forces people, helicopter pilots, airline pilots, doctors. When I flew back in from England about 1.5 years ago, I was being interrogated by the customs lady who knew full well who I was. And an airline captain just walks over, shaking my hand, saying, thank God you're there. We really appreciate you. And that made her mad because the airline pilots said, if you don't stop harassing us and grabbing our genitals and searching us, we're just not going to fly. You trust us with the aircraft that, you know, is the equivalent of thousands of pounds of TNT. It's a huge flying missile, 600 miles an hour. We're not going to do this anymore. So they hate the fact that they've rebelled and said, we're humans, treat us as if we're guilty until proven innocent. I'm being sarcastic. Treat us as if we're innocent until proven guilty. And so they're left alone. And it just deflated her ego, smiling at me, laughing at me, messing with me. McAdoo was standing right there. She flew back in with me. She went to England with me. And it was just that human interaction, though, to show that we had solidarity that ruined it for that bad customs lady that was messing with me. And that's why we've got to reach out to each other and meet with each other and promote organizations. And everybody who's a patriot should start an Access TV show or a news website or a local blog or an audio blog or buy time on local radio. It's so inexpensive. So you can start having meetings and barbecues and get 10, 20, 30, 100, 1,000 people together and be a leader in your area. because people need to come together. But it's a paradox. I'm not just demonizing the customs people. I flew back in from the Caribbean a month ago, and I've told this story. And now there's computers in Houston, and I was watching everybody else. They didn't get a big black X on theirs. I got a big black X to be searched and everything torn apart. And I got up there to the customs guy, and he was a listener, a retired veteran who went back into federal service after 9/11 because he lost a family member at the World Trade Center towers. And he said, basically, I used to listen to you and think you were nuts, but now it's all come true. And by the way, you're not the only one. I watch them harass citizens and other people that are obviously on some political list. It's these bleeping computers. It's what you said, robots taking over. This is a load of bull. You can go. They let the illegals through here all day. I'm not allowed to stop them, but I'm supposed to tear through your stuff or congressman's stuff, basically, to paraphrase. But see, soon there won't even be a human there. It will just be men in black uniforms will run out and drag me away to be interrogated, and then maybe under NDAA, oh, where'd Alex go? Oh, he was detained permanently. And of course, they won't go after Alex Jones first. They'll go after just regular people first, and that's what they've been doing. And they're setting the precedent to see if they can start disappearing people. They've already started admitting they're spying on everything we do. It's totally illegal. They're not getting in trouble. So why not start unloosing and unleashing the dogs of tyranny? Cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war, to quote William Shakespeare. Why not? The average FBI, the average CIA, the average federal person is compartmentalized and is not overtly evil. But the compartments that matter are people that like to kill and like to torture. And of course that was always going to be turned against us when it was being used on innocent Iraqis and others. And I said, listen, this is going to end up coming home. This is going to end up being ubiquitous, and now it is. They call it pain compliance, to break your arms or taser you or strap you down. Retired Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs. I don't have to believe him. He's been in Esquire articles and you name it about it. But I know other people in the military that have confirmed this, and it came out in congressional testimony. But it was industrial level, torturing innocent people in Afghanistan and Iraq, taking them in an assembly line in to be tortured. And sometimes the people didn't come out, folks. Keeping people locked up for months inside cages the sizes of their bodies, inflicting serious forms of psychological trauma. What do they call it when you're scared of closed spaces? Claustrophobia, yeah. Before they take you out and hook electrodes to your genitals. And they got away with all that, folks. And you're like, well, it was against the enemy. Now it's going to come home. See, anything we allow to be done to other people will end up coming back on us. That's why George Washington didn't torture people. That's why George Washington didn't attack women and children. That's why George Washington hung members of his army that did things like that. Not just because it was justice, but because he needed the psyop of the moral high ground. And he knew the British soldiers were his best ally committing atrocities against the colonists. And that's what turned the tide, was the atrocities. And in our name, the atrocities are being committed and publicized all over the world on purpose by the globalists to bring down this country in the final equation. They hate us more than they hate other independent nations. They hate bitter clingers. They hate veterans. They've told you they hate you. Do you think you're just going to go torture people? And then you're going to come home and the system isn't going to be scared of you? The cowards that send you to do the dirty work and do the hard jobs, to traumatize you and to make you serve 5, 6, 7, 8 tours or more? You're going to be betrayed. You are being betrayed. And that's the